Bitcoin is trading around $102,000 at the time of recording. We have a major development. The government shutdown, as predicted, has came to an end, and I want to give you my implications on what I think is going to be happening next. Now, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, hit the bell notifications. I give you very time-sensitive information. Now, basically, we've been waiting for this. I think the shutdown has been obviously it's like a world record of how long it's gone on. It's gone on for about 42 days at this point. We've had a crippling economy. We have really bad, just frankly speaking, just macroeconomics data. And they even came out saying that basically that we're not even going to have any October data going into November and December. And everything's kind of forward leaning right now. I think that now we're kind of in the clear. Trump is about to sign this and officially open the government, which I think is going to allow the floodgates to open when it comes to liquidity and stimulating the market and getting back to business as usual. So what does that mean for risk on assets such as Bitcoin? Now, obviously Bitcoin has been very underwhelming, and we see a rallying stock market. We see gold all-time highs, and you're kind of still wondering, right? Why have my coins just only gone down? How come Bitcoin's not going anywhere? It's supposed to be a fight against inflation and a way to opt out of the system, and it's been anything but that. And I think that when you have to consider Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it's a very risk-on asset, and it's very sensitive to liquidity. And as much as you guys want to pretend it trades secondarily to how everything else does, and it's like a counter trade and hedge and all this kind of stuff, now it's kind of infiltrated, right? Because we have mass manipulation, we have governments trying to accumulate Bitcoin, we have basically Binance, it's just never-ending selling, and then we have all these long-term Bitcoin OG whales seemingly trying to just offload billions of dollars. And I think that if you look at this through a larger lens, you will notice that we're still above $100,000. Yes, we're still on the cusp of crashing down below the 50-week moving average, which is around 98K, and big dangers below that in my opinion. But things still do look optimistic, and I kind of want to give you guys what I think is going to be happening next. So obviously we have this whole government shutdown closing up. We're going to have a positive outlook, in my opinion, for the markets. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of sell the news event, but I don't know how bad that's going to affect crypto, considering that we're already down. And again, I still think that these exchanges and the big boys, they need people to participate in the market, basically because they need liquidity. And I do think if we go into a overall bear trend, I think that we're going to have to mean revert to the upside before we even do that. So I'm pretty much eyeing if we can hit $106,000, $107,000. I think it's a pretty sure bet that you can count on us hitting at least 115 to 117 to put in some sort of lower high. But in the most bullish scenario, maybe we just crush all-time highs, and then my base case is still basically it's about $140,000, $150,000 around the end of the year / maybe Q1. And I am of the opinion that we'll go into some sort of recession, and I think the dollar is going to start getting stronger next year, which basically means a weaker Bitcoin price and just risk on assets in general. And so I think you need to be prepared for both the bullish and the bearish case. And if you're somebody that's still holding on to your altcoins, I think that this cycle in particular has taught you that Bitcoin is very important no matter what. Bitcoin essentially went from $15,000 to about 125. And even if it goes higher, then that's even better returns on Bitcoin, while most altcoins have basically just gone to zero against the price of Bitcoin. Obviously, there's a few outliers, but you don't really want to run the risk of just picking the wrong ones and just having an opportunity cost that's lost, because Bitcoin is the name of the game. You should always try to accumulate more Bitcoin, because regardless of what you may think, Bitcoin is going to be the only crypto that's basically going to still stand the test of time, and it's going to be around for the foreseeable future and the next cycles. So I think that you want to keep those price targets on your radar, and then have a plan going into this next rally up, because I do think that that's what's going to happen next. And you want to consider always taking profits along the way up. Now, the best way I can kind of give you guys a sort of recommendation on how to handle your profit-taking strategy is picture yourself with a pie, right? Let's say that, I'm going to assume that probably none of you have Bitcoin, right? But you always want to have a Bitcoin and layer one, blue chip heavy portfolio. Probably 60% of it should be diversified upon that. And then obviously you want to have a little bit of risk maybe. So maybe it's meme coins or ecosystem coins. And then obviously you want to have some sort of cash pile, whether it's USDC or stable coins or just dollars. You always want to have about 25 or maybe 20%, 25% in stables. And so you always want to balance out these portions. And so when the price goes higher, you want to take profits and rebalance that back into your stables. And then if it goes lower, well, then that's where you would deploy more stables to balance out that portfolio. And that way you're always basically compounding your gains. And then you want to take more aggressive profits as the price goes into, price discovery. Maybe we hit close to an all-time high, specifically for Bitcoin, because in my opinion, I don't think a lot of altcoins are actually going to go back to their all-time highs, at least not this cycle, except for a select few. So that's kind of my little update today. I'm pretty bullish now. I'm really happy that the government shut down. I think that everybody's been waiting for that. I think that there's way too much pain going on in the broader markets. And I hate seeing the country and the people struggle. And I think that if you're somebody that's in crypto, you're kind of like pro small government anyway. And so you just like, it's really sad to see, because I know this time is very difficult for a lot of people. And so I can only, hope for the best and continue to update you guys with what I'm doing next and hopefully make you guys some money. So with that being said, again, make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, turn on bell notifications. Everything I say is time sensitive. I will see you all soon. Bye.